11 games tonight. So for those of you who have had some kind of a withdrawal from one game last night and only a few the night before, you're in luck. Tonight's your big night. So Florida's in Philly in a matchup between two teams that have fan bases that have accused me of underrating their teams. So let's see which one's right. The Philadelphia Flyers are at home at 3-2, or Florida fans team who is 2-2 on the road. I wouldn't be entirely surprised to see Florida pull this off, only because I want to see a really consistent team out of Philly, and I'm not sure if we're there yet. Pittsburgh's in New York against the Rangers. Well, Rangers, you're up against the wall. You're really and truly up against the wall. I've had people ask me, so when would Vigneault's job be in trouble? If they lose tonight at home against Pittsburgh, and their upcoming games, they've got the Islanders, Nashville, San Jose, Arizona. You know what? Yeah, I could see Vigneault being in trouble as soon as... It wouldn't be after this game, that's too early, but I think if they lost tonight and then they lost against the Islanders, you might see a change. And it's funny because, and I haven't watched enough of them to know this is going on, but, and I've said this before, when he coached the Canucks, you could see when they tuned him out. It just happened where the Canucks just stopped playing for Vigneault, and there was nothing he could do. So, you know, these things happen, and I don't know if that's what's going on with the Rangers, but we'll see. Toronto's in Washington against the Capitals. This is a game where Toronto really needs to go for the jugular. Washington's coming off of a game where, you know, they got killed. And I think that was a rapid crash to earth that they had against Philly. Toronto needs to, you know, stomp on them while they're down and take advantage of this one so they can keep pace with the Lightning. The Lightning are in New Jersey against the Devils. The Jersey Devils now need to prove that they're for real. Not to me as much. I think they're... See, the thing is, when I say they're for real, I'm not saying that they're going to be, you know, division champs or anything. But I think this team, the way they're playing right now and with the way that everything's working on all their lines, they could definitely be in the mix for a wild card. And Tampa's going to reveal a lot tonight. The Vancouver Canucks, this looks like this could be lopsided in favor of the Ottawa Senators. So the Canucks have lost their last 3 after winning their first game this year. And it's not as much that they've lost, it's that there just doesn't seem to be a lot of pushback with this team. There's been complaints about the Canucks being soft, but those have been there for years. And that's not really the issue when you're in a rebuild. You don't just go out and get a bunch of tough guys just because your team's going to lose. But Ottawa now has Erik Karlsson coming back. They've got to feel pretty good about themselves right now, and they've already beaten Vancouver on the road. They should be able to beat them at home. Nashville's against Colorado. This is where Colorado needs to show that gravity isn't taking over with them. Nashville's a good challenge because the Nashville Predators, of course, are coming off of a Stanley Cup final. Are they having a Stanley Cup hangover? Maybe. Maybe not. But we'll see what goes on with that one. I may watch that one. That one has an inside track on me watching that one. Columbus is in Winnipeg. 2 teams on 3-game winning streaks. Which one's for real? That could be fun too. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. Could be. That's going to be fun. I'd give Columbus the edge just on paper, but you know what? Winnipeg's won 3 in a row. Why not make it 4? They're at home, so they could very well make it 4 in a row. Arizona's in Dallas. Well, if the Coyotes are going to get off the snide, I could see it being against Dallas. I could see it. And yet I could see Dallas winning this game too. Absolutely. It's so hard to tell because, you know, their record is skewed by the fact that they had to go to Lehtinen rather than Bishop. I think Bishop's playing well when he's in the net. And they're a different team when he's in the net. So we'll see. Carolina, they've lost their last 2 after winning their first one. They're in Edmonton against the Oilers. It's a bad game for Carolina. It's a bad look for Carolina. They have to go into Edmonton. Carolina, the sexy pick by myself and by other publications around North America to make the playoffs, now get to try to prove themselves against an Oilers team who, much like Washington in the East, they're on the ground, stomp them. Don't let them off the ground. Don't let McDavid start feeling good, just like Toronto can't let Ovechkin start feeling good tonight. Just, keep them down and build on their frustration. Don't alleviate it at all, or else Edmonton could have a big game. Buffalo is no longer a winless team, and they're in Vegas against the Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights are definitely defying gravity. The Boston game, I'm not going to make excuses. The Bruins got defeated. The score was very flattering to the Bruins. I honestly think that Rask kept it from looking a lot worse than it did. Probably had his best game of the year, not that it mattered. And now Vegas gets to prove whether or not they're ready to fall back to earth against a Buffalo team that needs to pick it up. Buffalo coming off their first win, and we'll see whether or not they can get that second win in as many games. I could see it. I think for Buffalo, the big thing for Buffalo is the this is a time where Eichel needs to step things up for Buffalo. This is it. This is one of those moments where, no matter what rosters they've got out there, Eichel has to show that he's capable of elevating, and he's going to get there. I still think he's going to get there. And tonight could be a big start to that, because it's an expansion team. Go out there and prove yourselves. Show that you're better than an expansion team. You have to be better than an expansion team. Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens have lost 4 in a row after winning on opening night. And San Jose is 1-3. This was probably going to be a really good game, because whatever team loses, they're in serious trouble. Not that if Montreal wins, a 2-3-1 record looks good. This is the start of a road trip for Montreal, and it takes them to LA and Anaheim, so they got to play 3 out of 4. They have 4 nights to play 3 games, all in California. California is not an easy road trip. And this is the easiest one of the 3 games on paper, because San Jose's record isn't very good. I wouldn't be surprised if Montreal wins this one. They lost that game against Toronto, yes, but they looked good, and they probably deserved a better fate than that. It's just, that's the way the cookie crumbles, so to speak. And I think that things are going to turn around a bit for Montreal. But if San Jose loses this one and drops to 1-4, there's some questions that have to be asked about the roster, and about the GM, and about the coach. And this is how things work. It all starts with just that one losing streak at the start of the year. Coaches do get fired in October and early November. So it's funny that we as fans say, well, it's too early to really decide. Give them till about 15 games. Oh, GMs don't work that way. Teams don't work that way. Teams see a trend. They see how the team is playing on the ice, and they say, you know what? We got to make a change in the front office. We got to make a change on the ice. We got to make a change behind the bench. Changes on the ice used to be far more common before the salary cap, when you could make, hockey trades and not worry about a salary cap. Now, making trades is a headache, so you have to start with the coach. And there are some surprises that get fired as coach. There are coaches that got fired during the season last year that if we had talked about it before the season started, we would have collectively agreed, well, that guy's probably safe. And then he wasn't. So we'll see if San Jose and Montreal have safe coaches. We could see very, very soon. And as I said, the Rangers as well. So those are 3 that I'd keep an eye on in terms of coaching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Enjoy the action tonight. It should be fun. And I'll talk to you again soon.